Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Rich. All right, let's do a new storyteller spotlight. I grabbed out three fairly random grabs. They were just three comics that were in a stack of comics in my office. So what we've got is we've got Jay Lee, Ozymandias. We've got the last issue that Stephen Platt did of Moon Knight very early in his career. This will be interesting. I haven't looked at this book in a long time. And then we've got Ashley Wood, Metal Gear Solid, written by Chris Aprisco, who's actually a friend of mine. Today what we're going to look at is I'm going to try to reel in on symbolism and the choices that they made and kind of what the pictures are telling us based on the shot chosen, the crop, and just like what's the story that's being told in the image. I would highly recommend, and I haven't actually revisited his channel, but I need to, is Strip Panel Naked. I'll put a link in the description box below. If you go to his channel, please tell him that I sent you. I don't know him, but I think his channel is really cool. And he dissects comics, and he's real good at it. So let's do Ashley Woods first. I haven't peeked at any of these, so I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. But we'll spend about 10 minutes on each book, and we'll get some pages. So just the cover alone. I mean, okay, so you've got this gigantic robot. I mean, there's definitely a sense of danger. He uses the legs to frame the figure, and it's a real nice piece. The nice shadows underneath the legs are not only functional, but I think that they do create a sense of tension. If we pull back, it's a strong image. He's kind of got, you could argue, an X shape, and your points of interest sweep like this and then take you there, and he kind of mimics the shape. So anyway, it's not really a storytelling piece, but figure we'll look at it. I'm grabbing a pointer. We'll use this brush. All right, let me switch hands. It's cold here, so it's actually tricky to grab the pages. My hands are like, don't want to behave. All right, let me see. I'm gonna put on one desk light. See how this goes. I don't want to glare it out. Sometimes the paper is super slick. All right, so what do we got here? We've got this very menacing looking robot. You can't see his face. It's in the shadows. To me, that's like impending doom, intimidation. You've got our hero here. He's facing this quite huge looking nemesis. Like I haven't read the story, so who knows? They could be peers. Maybe this is a boss type character that is going to sort of mentor this guy. Very difficult to tell yet. Again, Ash has got the guy framed between his legs. There's a real nice, strong shape there. He's got this juxtaposed positioning that moves you through the piece real nicely. He doesn't really use repetition with the circles. Sometimes you can do a thing where you see these circles here is you can kind of like place circles. If you had like maybe tech, like he could go bump, bunk, 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 and then send you out the page. But he still drops you down, and again, I always tell you, weapons are good pointers. They'll send you right out the page, and Ash is very aware that this is the first page of the book, and where it's going to sit when you open the comic. So okay, pages 1 and 2. Our hero, it's a tight shot, creates tension. Having stuff kind of squeezed into a panel like that, I think always has a sense of it's like intimidating, or like something's up, like we're really, and then he even brings you in closer, which to me even creates more tension. Again, you've got this sort of like anything in the shadows is kind of like literally in the shadows. It's like it's a mystery. What is going on? And we're only basing this on the imagery, not the dialogue. But there's a mystery to be revealed. Start getting a little bit more of the story. Like the story is being revealed, the face is being revealed. And then he's got this real strong V shape that again, sends you out the page, and the guy is jumping out the panel. It's really beautifully done. He frames this really, really nicely with the blacks so that you look here, the energy sends you here. It reads very, very nicely. You could almost think of these as storyboards, and that's kind of the way that Ashley Wood draws sometimes. Is he's really, really fast, and he's a big inspiration for me. Again, I've been trying to sort of like release the shackles of tight art and get more into this. And it's not that it's easier, but it's very, very efficient and effective storytelling method. Comics are read quickly. Most pages, you spend a few seconds on it, and to spend 16 hours on a page is admirable. But there's other ways to do it that move through the story, and you can tell a lot more stories that way if that's your propensity. So anyway, we've got this. A big effect happens, and it's like, I mean, you can clearly tell that like that this gun is firing, and it's really like amping up the energy. You're going from intimidation to like excitement, seeing even more of this character now. And then, it's like, but there's still more mystery. There's something going on off panel that we're about to find out about. Like, this guy is framed. He's about to have to engage with whatever mysterious thing is, again, leaning out the page there. And you've got this word balloon coming off panel that he's cornered, and this whatever's happening next, and it's great. It's a page turner too, so you don't get to see the reveal. Again, Ash was very, very aware of this is page 2, this is page 3. The mystery will be unveiled, and it could be a Prisco script too that he's aware of it. Okay, so it was actually just an explosion. I don't, again, not reading it, it's hard to say, but it's nice that you got to turn the page. He could have actually done this as a big shot. It could have been like maybe this much of the page could have been the explosion. Then you have this. Okay, so obviously the color would mean that it's a different time or place. This is probably a flashback, or it would have to be a flashback. And then we've got the returning to the action. Chris Bachalo would do this in steampunk. He would do it with grayscale images, and he's used it actually quite consistently since that book. Whenever there's any kind of retro scene, you'll see his books generally will go to grayscale. And then we've got the hero. So let's see. Again, mystery. Whenever you've got a character this much covered up and you're only seeing part of the eye, I mean, there's going to be a reveal. Something is going on. This is maybe an introduction to something or someone. Again, we're going back to the flashback. So in my mind, this person may be reflecting to a moment that happened to them. Again, only based on the imagery. Then we go back to our scene. So our character is now moving into the light, is exploring. It looks less intimidating here. Maybe things have settled down a little bit. We'll see. This is actually a very, very hard panel to read. Oh, okay, it's a face. I'm looking at it through the phone, and I thought it was like a hallway, and I was like, what is this? But, all right, so tight shot of snake. I believe that's solid snake. Then looks like a murder happened. I mean, this is like kind of like the energy of possibly death or murder, or it's just, this is telling you, to me, that's like danger. Something bad happened. That's not a good shape. You wouldn't be relaxed and have that around you. Like someone sitting in a chair, having a cup of tea would not have that energy blast around their head. Okay, so symbolism. Always think of symbolism when you're drawing your pages. There's a lot of value to that. Okay, so we'll look at just the overall page design. So he's got this really cool, like he takes you here, and then this arc does sweep you out into this page. And again, he was aware that this page was going to be here. I would believe. If not, it's he's working on instinct. So more mystery. We've got the flashback. This guy's still venturing. I don't really feel like this is a super scary scene. He doesn't. I feel like the threat has lifted for him, and it could be incorrect, but this doesn't feel as intense. If this was all black, I would feel like, man, whatever this guy is about to see around this corner is going to be bad news. But it's still intense. I mean, he's got these lines, like something's going on. He's seeing something, and then I'm not even 100% sure what that is. Is it TV? But look, I mean, there's still more threats. So let's see. I'm just kind of taking it in. Interesting. So this is kind of like a fade out. So this big action happens. I'm a little confused on where we are here based on this, but maybe reading it's more clear. But this almost feels like it could be like a different place or time, maybe. Then it's like these memories are kind of fading, and then this symbolic thing would lead me to believe that this is actually taking us to a different, like it's a transition. So let's see what it is. Who knows? Some of this stuff can be very avant-garde. Oh, okay, so interesting. So this is some sort of different. I'm sorry, my bad. All right. Oh, okay. So they're wrapping up this scene. Oh, there's birds inside the hangar. See again, this is almost surreal. And it could be symbolic. Like I don't know how crows would be inside of a hangar, unless it's really kind of like a dystopian future where they got in there. Wow, that is crazy. Well, skulls never mean good stuff. Well, it was a big hypodermic needle. Yeah, see, this is just very like Flash to me. Not bad, but yeah, not everything will follow some sort of rule. You know what I mean? You can break rules, and I talked about that in the other two videos that rules are meant to be broken. There really are no rules, but there's sort of a loose structure that you can follow, and then multiple templates. There's hundreds of different ways to handle pages in storytelling, which is why it's so interesting. And you get different personalities do it different ways. So we're going to end Ash's section here. We can always revisit him. If you have favorite artists that I've touched on that you want to see more of, by all means, let me know. But we spent 10 minutes on this, and again, the birds are definitely taking you to a different scene now. I guess that was sort of like an allusion to it happening, but the next page is that red stuff. So this is definitely dissolving into this completely different moment. So very, very cool. This looks like maybe her thinking back to her childhood. So, all right, that was cool. That was not bad. It was interesting. It's a little different. Let's do Moon Knight next. So this was Stephen Platt's first run on a book. So this is, I think, maybe his fifth professional comic. So it's probably going to be more primitive storytelling. He may have had a lot of feedback from his editor, which actually can be very helpful to an artist. But we'll just see what we've got going on here. I was curious. I like how Stephen drew back then when he inked his own stuff. I thought it looked the best. Yeah, really nice cover, very classic, like old school Marvel. It's just really like kind of Frank Miller-esque with the characters down. He's isolated. There's all black around him. He's on his symbol. I mean, that's a real good moment, and it's the final issue of the book too. So it's like it really presents like a feeling of, wow, man, okay, this is end game for this dude. All right, so let's see what we got here. Again, this could be very popcorn oriented, but we'll see what we've got. Nice long panel. Not a lot of times the opening page is just a splash, something to sort of like get you into it, but real cool style. I've always thought his stuff was really fun. Obviously, back then he was getting compared to Todd McFarlane a lot more detail. Pretty sure he inked this stuff with Pigma pens. I could be wrong with that, but I vaguely remember that. And probably a Hunt 102. I think he was a marker guy. I really do. I don't know. But I'm no expert. Oh man, this is awesome. So this, I mentioned this in my the live stream. I said that when I got into comics, I signed up because I wanted to do crazy stuff like this. I'm not saying this detailed, but just in general, like it was double page spreads, in your face action, and yeah, a couple years later it really changed, and it wasn't as artist driven. It was more story driven, and I don't know, you could argue that I don't know. Everyone's taste is different. This is interesting. It's like you can read it upside. Oh, he's upside down. Wow, that's crazy. How many legs has that guy got? Am I tripping? What is going on? He has 3 legs? That doesn't work. Come on, really? 3 legs? Can't walk with 3 legs. Bad character design. I don't even know who that character is. You tell me. Wow, this is really weird. There's a lot of shit upside down. Oop, stuff. Now, YouTube is gonna like demonetize my video because of that. You have to be really careful. If you drop any bad words, they don't let you make money on the video. like this video is not appropriate for things. All right, so let's look at the storytelling because that's the key. All right, so man, I have no idea what's going on. I mean, I guess they're just all like getting like their butts kicked. How's the page design on this? Everything's going this way. He's got a little bit of zig and zagging going on. Again, it's early in his career. Well, maybe we'll just enjoy this one for the art. It's all right. Hard to say if the editor was that hands-on. Yeah, this is just kind of... It's more eye candy drawings. This isn't bad. This has a little bit of like a Jay Lee feel. But, you know, he's got the nice shape here. It kind of arcs down this way and then swings you around. So he's got a little bit of page design here. All right, let's see. Maybe we'll hop over to the Jay Lee book because, again, I'm going to set the phone down for just one sec while I switch the page. It's funny because when he pulls out the detail, his storytelling is actually stronger. These kind of wallpaper pages, not that this is, but they're more just sort of like a blast of like stuff. But this is nice. Like he's got the characters laid out quite well. I mean, you can kind of tell like she's probably giving this guy some sort of like somewhat not great news, and he's kind of like, meh. Meh. Ooh, I'm scared. Right. We'll do one more, and then we'll see what's going on. So, yeah. God dang. My hands are freezing, so I can't fucking grab the pages. Yeah, this is just like, what is that, ads? Yeah. But it's really cool. Like, I really do like the way that he rendered stuff, though. It's really interesting. Like, he got a very interesting line. Like, it almost looks like the paper was always bleeding when he was inking it. But I like that look. Like, it looks a little sloppy in a good way. That's nice. Yeah, it's really, really cool. Okay, so let's check out Jay Lee, because Jay Lee will actually tell a bit more of a story. And no offense to Stephen Platt. I'm a big fan of his work. That's why I have the comic. But sometimes what you get out of a certain artist is a different hit of stoof. All right, so let's think about this. All right, so this guy is at a very weird angle for the cover. It's a nice design. Again, because of the crop, there's a level of intensity to it. I'm not seeing all of him, and he's really in my face. And, you know, that grimace really does sell that, like, man, dude, I don't want to mess with this guy. There's he's intimidating. This is intense. The intensity because of the crop, you know, it's definitely, and even the colors too, that red in the background or orange, orangish red, really kind of sells it as like, whew, okay, man, I don't know about this dude, but this is gonna be hot. This issue is gonna be popping. All right, so let's see what we got. All right, so guy's got his arms behind his back. You can't see him. There's two ways that I can kind of take this. Is that he's got some wisdom and he's actually like sort of dropping some knowledge on this dude, or he's being confronted. I don't know based on the image. This guy doesn't look like he's in a super intimidating pose. The gun, you know, could be questionable, but and I'm not even really sure. Is he holding something in his hand? It's a very weird hand gesture. I really honestly can't tell what his hand is doing. It's like, is it, what in the hell? That is weird. He's holding a cigar, but oh, maybe he's gonna flick it? I don't know. That's a little funky. But anyway, so let's see. The heart that fed. But again, we're looking at the imagery. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what's going on here. Oh, they're about to fight. So yeah, this guy's being like chill. He's like, I'm such a badass. I don't even need to have my arms in front of my head. He gestures and like the birds are kind of symbolic of like it's going down. It's going down. Oh, he broke his gun. Nice. So what? Oh, he threw something. Oh, I see. Okay, he pulls out of his sleeve that, and so in Ozymandias, Jay did a somewhat consistent storytelling technique with these unusual panel designs, which is a very, very interesting choice and something that I personally hadn't seen done in American comics, and I'm not saying that I've seen it done in European comics, but this is a bold move, and I'll tell you why. to commit to a full run of, I don't know if it was 6 issues that he did or 8, with this type of layout, you're really creating a challenge for yourself in terms of storytelling, and let's see how he handles it. I think it will be quite interesting. So this works really really good. You've got this really nice face-off panel. They're far enough away where it's like, man, you know what's going down. These two are about to like do it. The bird in the middle is real nice. Him in shadow, it's like you know this guy's about to like do something. Again, it's like something is about to be revealed. You see that? He's in shadow, but he's starting to come out. This guy is actually more, although he's in shadow and he's coming out, the pose is more, stoic. This is real nice. Great beat with that circle. Really, really works good. And then this is a fantastic panel. It could be more dynamic. He's very like up and down, but it still works quite well. This is really really good. Really fascinating too because it's like you actually read it here to here and then go here. Although a newer reader may I mean you're gonna get it regardless. But yeah, pretty cool. But again, that's challenging. You have to understand. We're watching him do it and pull it off. In the script, he had to figure out how to do this. All right, so this page he lays out a bit different, but he's still using that same template of circles and then rectangles. So really, really great shot there. That is super nice. Really, really dynamic. Man, that is awesome. The birds flying around. We're getting this really kind of cool curvilinear, almost like 3-point perspective. Really, really excellent. Excellent. That's great too. Tough shot to pull off. The character still looks really consistent. That's key. I was talking to someone this morning about that. A penciler was having me critique some of his stuff, and he's a really really good penciler. But you have to be able to draw these guys big and small, and have it look consistent. It's a real complicated thing. But anyway, let's get back to the storytelling. So nice tight shot. I mean, he's moving you through these quick, which is again why you don't need to labor. Like none of these panels should have taken 4 or 5 hours to do, because we're going to move through this fast and we're going to get to this money shot, which the circle really kind of stops you here. It's quite effective. As these three you read quickly and you end up right there, and it's just, you could use that as objects in a panel. Anytime you have a circle, to me that's a stop sign. It just makes you stop on it. There's no two ways about it, which is fascinating because all the word balloons are ellipses, but for whatever reason your eyes kind of ignore those. And I like how so where he's placed in the frame, this is pretty good. So we got this. Then the camera actually turns this way and we start to see a more of a front view, and then bam, he actually rotates it back around clockwise. So this is counterclockwise, right? Let me see. Yeah. And that, so it's pretty interesting, but I like the drop here. And then again, this is a nice freeze frame. Really, really good. And then he puts these shapes that start to send you out of the page. So Jay is great. He's one of my favorite artists. Okay. Okay, so what is that? Oh, it's his nose and a cigar. Okay, so got a nice beat there. Nice. So ooh, okay, so yeah, and he mixed up like again, you see a consistency with the way that he's laying out pages, but at the same time, the circles and panels, more traditional style panel, but with circles affecting them, how he uses it and moves it around. This must have been very very interesting challenge for him to lay it out. Really nice. And boy, he opens it up here, and you get this just really killer sweep. The letterer did a real nice job of helping keep everything cool and moving. That was a great shot. And if you notice, sorry, the glare is gnarly. He's got this guy completely in silhouette, which was a smart move because this would be very, very complicated to draw a little bit of detail in here and have it read. So taking it to black really was actually quite a good move. This is pretty bold too, this black arm right here. The temptation, because it's kind of in the foreground of the figure, for me personally, would be I would want to carry a little bit of this light through the arm, and it actually might make it pop a little bit. And then he does actually show this guy who is really kind of the one in danger right now. So it was nice that he lit him up a little bit so that you kind of see, you know, even though he's on the bottom, he looks like he's got control of this dude. Nice boot. And he moves all these, take you out. Really nice sweep to that. Frozen hands. Okay. Pause beat, always. A long fight. So he flips and kind of comes out of it. And posing off. Okay, let's get to something else. The fight's good, but I mean, it's more he's orchestrating the fight. Okay, so I got this. Really, really nice. Interesting call there with the, like, not seeing that guy's head at all. It's always cool to have options, you know. If you were drawing this, you might feel like, you know, maybe I should show more of his head or whatever, but he's like, no, this is good. It works. It's really dynamic. Man, again, just real extreme upshot with that really beautiful kind of curvilinear sort of sweep with everything kind of going around. I'm going to set the phone down just to switch the page. We'll wrap this up in a second. We'll do a couple more pages. I'm actually going to try to find something that's more storytelling. So let's see. We'll look at these. So back to, you know, it actually starts here. So obviously that stuff in the background is some sort of a flashback, or at least to me it is. It almost looks like, well, I guess they're newspaper clippings. A little difficult for me to tell from this shot if that Sphinx is actually in the office or if that's part of the flashback, just based on the imagery. Because it's in color, it almost feels like it could be like a huge thing that he has in this room. And in fact, it is. So that's actually really, really cool. So again, whenever you see a face and kind of half shadow, even though it's like a stylistic thing, usually something's being revealed. The veil is coming off, and you know, to me that looks like he's maybe sharing like a little bit of either mystery or some sort of bad news. I don't get the feeling that he's telling her something good. So conversation continues. The this in the background is pretty cool. Like if you think of time, this is just very esoteric, but you know what I mean. It's like the beats really kind of just sort of like kind of like a metronome. It just kind of takes you over here. You're gonna pause on this. It's kind of a moment of reflection, and then you know, the space between them, she's obviously splitting, and it's like the moment's over, and sort of like, you know, it's probably some sort of a cliffhanger, and then the little bit of statues in the background is a nice just kind of like nod to what that guy's about. What, you know, he's obviously either very wealthy or some sort of archaeologist or collector or whatever it is. Again, only based on the imagery, not the story. If that makes sense. You know, it's like we're looking at the images to tell the story. All right, so this almost feels like a flashback. It's interesting because you see this, and it's kind of like maybe he's got investors or some sort of business people showing up, and then it cuts to this, which you know, really actually feels quite different. Did these guys come into the scene? I don't know what this beat is. I mean, it says, I mean, I can read it. It says 3 months later, these guys come in, but then it cuts to even something else. These are pretty fast cuts, but you know, the different clothing and stuff like that sells the image. I mean, clearly they're in, you know, whatever, Alaska or the North Pole or something. And then the guy's fighting again. Color helps kind of sell that. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up. It's almost 30 minutes. Hopefully this was interesting and kind of fun. I mean, again, you can see that there's such a huge variety, and not every page lends itself to like this phenomenal, you know, A plus B equals C. I mean, you really have to be creative and quite limber with your thought process, and look, it's just a bunch of problems to solve, little puzzle pieces that you sort of peg into pages, and not all pages are created equal. And you know, some you'll win, some you'll lose, some you'll have, you know, minor successes, and some just look cool, you know, and the storytelling kind of goes out the window. All right, smash the like, please check out my Patreon, and wow, it is raining outside. Okay, I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you.